4th and 1 and the positioning where we were, didn't we just give away points? I mean, all the momentum, I didn't understand. And this is the same thing that has gotten Coach McCarthy, in my view, in trouble because of not only late game management calls, but in-game management calls early. And that was a blow to us. It took us out of it. I didn't understand that call.
Well, the 4th and inches. First and foremost, why even put your stress on the team like that?
Exactly.
The first thing the Cowboys should have done was literally look back at that and said, all right, what we're going to do is not do that. What we're going to do is challenge that. And if the aficionados say, hey, his elbow was down, are we talking about the same play, right? With CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah.
They should have at least challenged it, right? And if they said no, and if it's 4th and inches, I would look to my offensive lineman and say, hey, this is what we fought for all offseason. This is what we grind for all offseason. This is what we made it to this moment for, is to get an inch. And that would have really embraced everything.
Yeah. I don't quite, hey, everybody, what's up, all the Law Nation people? I see y'all popping in. What's going on?
You jumping in there now.
Yeah. And jumping on in. Your folks coming on in. But listen, I didn't understand that part.
Right.
But Coach McCarthy is having issues. I believe this analytic stuff has really messed him up, kind of the same way that the Chargers guy is. And I don't understand some of these calls that he is doing. But here's my future law.
What is that?
Forget that. I'm scared now because I got a feeling that last night was a preview of what's getting ready to come. I don't trust Kellen Moore. I believe he's going to get incredibly excited to have Dak Prescott back on the center. And we're getting ready to go back and do exactly what we're used to, which is throwing the football like crazy. And Kellen Moore is going to catch an amnesia pill. And he is going to forget what brought him to the dance. He's just going to get excited about it. I mean, let's be honest. Other than the Ram game, Cooper Rush was still throwing 30 times a game. See what I'm saying? And we were running. It was balanced. But I just know what Dak is going to do. And let's throw in this little caveat as well. Okay. We remember last year.
Okay.
Dak has the power, as he should, change plays at the line of scrimmage. And he got excited when he saw one-on-one coverage. But that's what he's going to see again this year. Now, I know Cooper's not there and Cedric Wilson not there, but I just get this strange feeling that Dak is going to try to air it out. I just don't believe that Ezekiel Elliott is going to get no more than 14, 15 carries a game, and Pollard to have about 6 or 7, the same thing. I'm scared of Kellen Moore. I really am. I'm scared of him. Talk to me.
Kellen Moore lack of experience should bring alarms to everyone. But I can tell everybody that there's 2 things that he should take away from this. If you take away this game that we just played against the Eagles, the second half version, right before we, had the kickoff, if we take away that part of it, and if we play like that, then I think it's winnable. Yeah. But if we play like we played for the first half, his philosophy and his procedures of throwing the ball, being pass happy, we're not going to win. Yeah. And I don't care what the Cowboys Nation will say about the quarterback under center or about the wide receiver that's running routes. You got to play complementary football. You got to feed this defense the right way. You can't give the short field. You got to play the field. And if Kellen Moore just get out of whatever he's thinking about of throwing the ball, even with Dak when he comes back. And if he look at this thing and say, hey, we looking to play a long game, play the field. You got a hell of a punt kicker who can flip the field. And on the inverse side, you got a guy like a Cavante Turpin that can stretch the field for you if you get them to be 3 and out.
Yeah.
You got to start playing that version of the game versus, hey, everything is now on the quarterback.
Yeah. I don't know, Law. I've been saying it I've been saying it for the last 3 years. And
right.
If y'all been following me, whoever following me, y'all already know. This is what I've been saying about Kellen. And I just believe that he's gonna revert to who he is as a play caller. And he what we're trying to make him be is really just not him. Yeah, it's just not him. He's a pinball machine, crackerjack, Madden 23, play caller that has been spoiled by the talent that he's had. That talent was so good that it overrides the bad play calling that he did.
Right.
And this year, unfortunately, we're not as talented. And I don't think and I guess I gotta see it before I may be jumping the gun, but I don't think I am. But we just have to see. But I just got a feeling that he's going to give Dak the ball and say, let's go to work. If we doing this well with Cooper, then we're gonna do well with Dak there. And I believe he's right.
You're right. Let me say this. Two teams that we can look at and say they're doing it right. Far as minimum, like I'm not trying to give them all of the success, but we can see that they're playing to the strength of their players. And somebody mentioned that. Brian Daboll, he may get coach of the year on how he's playing to the strength of his team. It's not like Danny Jones is playing out of his mind, right? But what he's doing is I'm going to make it comfortable for him. We're going to run the ball. We're going to set things up. Hey, we paid all of that money because just last year around this time and the year before that, Saquon Barkley was looking like he was washed, even though he was hurt. I know it's not his fault, right? But now look at Saquon Barkley. He is the heart and soul of that team. You can't even name me the wide receivers the Giants got, right? Now, granted, the Giants pulled out a win yesterday, but that's what teams figure out with coaching. You figure out putting things in comfortable situations for your said player. And the case in point, Sirianni, I'm not trying to give the Eagles any love here, but I just got to tell you guys, they are playing to the strength of Jalen Hurts. He was 15 for 25. It wasn't throw Jalen, fly Eagles fly. It was none of that last night. 15 for 25, 155 yards.
Nothing special. Just solid.
2 touchdowns, right? So when you look back at what they did, they said, okay, I'm not going to take weapons away from them. I'm going to add 2. A.J. Brown, they spent $100 million for him. They drafted Devontae Smith, right? A year back. And on top of that, Dallas Cowboys, they making things comfortable for the young quarterback. Now, they're going to have a problem on their hand when he start asking for remunerations, Now, they're going to muddy the water a little bit, and it's still too soon to see what he's going to ask for. But I guarantee you it's going to be north of Kyler Murray.
Oh, God, yes. You have to be here. You really don't have no choice. It's going to be crazy. But I believe that you just brought up a very key point. It's about making the guys comfortable. And that's what Kellen Moore did. And then he had an amnesia pill. He forgot about it last night. He caught back up in the second half, but by then we had dug such a hole,
a big hole,
and that is hard to come out of that kind of a hole. We're not built to come, back from 20 to nothing. That's not our way. We're a grinded out team that can pull it, can score a lot of points.
Right.
Cooper Rush can't. It's just not him. But I really believe that what we're getting ready to see is, and even though some will say it's trap games, I really believe that we're going to, let me, for those that are watching from Law's channels and then mine, listen to me. I'm not knocking Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush did an outstanding job for the time he was in. No doubt about it.
No doubt.
He kept the ship rolling. He did what he was supposed to do. But for all of you, and unfortunately, it's Cowboy fans.
Yep.
I really can't, and Law, since you done showed up, I'm trying to be a little diplomatic.
I know you're ready to go in.
But man, look, for all of you people that have disrespected Dak Prescott, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because I can't give a man that has only started, 6 games over a guy that has started seasons,
right.
Pro Bowls, winning, a lot of wins under his belt, playoffs. I can't give that type of credit to a man that's only started 5 to 6 games. You just cannot disrespect Dak Prescott like this. And I'm seeing, hey, Coach Marv, I see you.
Yeah, Coach.
Coach is in the building. I just can't understand why we did that. But the same folks, Law, I'm quite sure you done watched it. The same folks that done said keep Rush as a starter, now all of a sudden are saying bring Dak back. Just that quick. You know what I'm saying? Because that teams have started to see a certain thing is called film. And now film is on Rush. Yeah. And if you notice, it started going down and down and down. Now they've caught up with him a little bit. Talk to me, Law, about that.
Well, people are knee jerk, right? And I see how people, people will ride with you long as you're winning, right? I even the good man, he fed over 2,000 people, man, with fish and bread, you know what I'm saying? But when it was time to take them in, them 2,000 people like, you know what? I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? It was only a few that was at the cross with him when he was getting nailed to the cross. And them 2,000 people could have came up there to pull him up off the cross, but they wasn't willing to do that. Now, when Dak Prescott was rolling, everybody was with him, right? Yeah. And Dak Prescott played 86 games. That's a lot of games, ladies and gentlemen. And what people were saying that the 4 games and now the 5th game, but now it's 6 games collectively that Cooper Rush played. He's 5-1. They was willing to hedge their bet that Cooper Rush was better than Dak Prescott based upon the tangible evidence that they saw. But when I was trying to tell people the philosophy and the formula, if they stick to running the ball, make it one-on-one to the outside, it's a great proven system that you can win out of. Yeah. But they wanted style points. Style makes fights with Dak. And they were saying that, hey, he can't do this. He don't deserve Carson Wentz money. You guys remember that? He don't deserve to get paid like Jared Goff. They had every angle to take money out of the man hand, and they didn't want the Cowboys to make the money to pay the man or what have you. And then when he finally got his bag out of guilt, they paid Dak Prescott out of guilt. People fail to realize that. Because what they seen in 2020, they were seeing like, oh, if you put defense behind this dude, maybe, just maybe, he would beat somebody, right? Yeah. They only guilted paying him. And that's sad on the Jones administration and the Jones family to do that, right? Yeah. And then when they paid the man, this is what they said, big time. We gave you the money. We gave you $40 million. Now give us the Super Bowl because we gave you what you wanted. Yeah. It don't work that way. Just because I give you money doesn't mean that now your production level should increase. Actually, Dak Prescott, this is back pay from 2016. You had a cheap contract on him in 17 and 18, right? You had the man for dog cheap.
Yeah.
I can't make this stuff up. It just seems as if though Cowboy fans, they buy into what the Jones family is saying, and then they start echoing, hey man, we paid you $40 million. You supposed to generate us the Super Bowl now because we giving you the money. I don't care who you got in the backfield. We giving you the money now.
Yeah, let's add to that, Law. You gave him $40 million, and then you took away his number one receiver.
You took it away like, hey.
Give me the Super Bowl, but we want you to win it by committee.
Right.
I mean, come on now. You took away his number. You took away Cedric Wilson. You took away that was a big important part as well.
Right.
And it's like, come on, dude. You balanced out. I just don't understand that.
You paid everybody but him. You paid Ezekiel Elliott. He got his money, which rightfully so, right? You paid Jalen Smith. Y'all remember that? He got his money. You paid DeMarcus Lawrence, right? You paid everybody. It's somebody else. They paid Amari Cooper, right? He got here. They paid him before they paid Dak Prescott. I think the logical reason would have been, hey, but I get it. 2019, they used that as the measuring stick.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, you didn't win when it counted. You went 8-8, and you're an 8-8 quarterback. Keep in mind, the dude before that time frame, we went 13-3 year one, 9-7 year two, right? Right, yeah. And then year three, if I'm correct, 10-6.
10-6, yeah.
And then year 4, 8-8. I'm going off the top of my head. I could be wrong. Yeah. Name me another quarterback. That didn't have a losing season that now you gotta fight the man. You gotta fight the man to pay the man. Right? It's crazy.
Crazy when you had no options.
Oh yeah, and they paid La'el Collins. I forgot about that. Y'all name all of the people. Y'all.
It's unbelievable.
Right.
It's unbelievable. I don't understand the logic. Let's move real quick, Law, because you dropping bombs as usual. And I'm trying to as you a guest here, I'm just trying to let you have the flow on this.
It's your world, man.
Talk about the defense now. And the glaring, obvious thing that we can't do. We've been camouflaged by jumping up or the defense is so good. Pass rushing, but we got to destroy it on the run again.
Yeah.
And that's and we take teams out of the game.
Right.
And so we can pin our ears back and go after the quarterback. But we're having struggles against the run, and this is the way it's been for the last 5-6 years probably. So this is before Dan Quinn. And that's what Philly did last night. They were very strong on running the ball. They were committed to running the ball. They were effective in running the ball. And the sad part for us was that we had beef up front. Bohanna played, Gallimore played, Olsen played, Tristan Hill played, and we still could not stop the run up the middle. I understand that the Eagles have this RPO system going and all that kind of stuff, and they played Michael Parsons, but we were getting ran up the gut a whole lot.
Right.
And that's the only part that I saw on defense. Other than they played Michael Parsons like a chess piece. They didn't block him, but he had to make quick decisions, and Hurts is good enough, obviously, in the RPO game that he can make those adjustments. But we can't stop the run, Law. What's the problem?
Let me see if I can share something right quick. Let me see if I can build this plane while it's in the air. Hold on, bam. Okay, here we go.
Okay, I got you. Come on. I got you. Let me see.
Okay, so we got PFF grades on defensive linemen, right? And I see Christopher Jones, 93.2, and Aaron Donald, 91.3, DJ Reader, 91, Dexter Law, shout out to the Laws, 90.3, Jeffrey Simmons, 90, Derek Brown, 89.9. I don't see, these are top 6 guys in the interior, inside. I don't see a Cowboys name there, right? And at some point, the Cowboys got to figure this out. They got to understand that you can't just get blood out of what's that saying? You know
blood out of a turnip, out of
you
a
can't
turnip.
get it. Yeah, at some point you gotta pay the price. Now I love what Gallimore is doing. I love what my guy Big Bo when he was in there. I love what he's doing, but will it be at a level similar to these boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that right now Derek Brown is out there if you put in a trade offer, if you put in some resources to acquire him. I don't know who the 7th, the 8th, and 9th guy, but I just wanted to share this particular excerpt with everyone. You can take it off now, but I just wanted to share that. I think that stopping the run starts up front. And I think that if the Cowboys ever wanted to address that issue, they're going to have to dig deep and spend a little tissue for it. You know, I hate to rhyme like that, but that's just how it goes, baby.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I think Coach Barb just I thought I saw what he put down. He said that we weren't, man, I think they had 39 attempts for 150 some odd yards, all that kind of stuff. I think what it was that made it just look bad, to be honest with you, was we couldn't make the stop when we needed last night. That's for the first time we just couldn't. That long drive when we cut it to 3. We had several attempts on third down. I think we had 3 third down conversions that we just couldn't stop on that night. And it could have been that them guys were just tired.
Right.
They had been on the field for God knows how long time.
But one thing I'll tell you, if we play the field, I get it. Jalen Hurts did 2 long drives for a score, but the odds, maybe the 3rd time or the 4th time, maybe he don't get that, right? So when it was 4th and inches, I don't say we should punt there, but I think that we should have made some proper throws and proper reads to help out this defense. I think that the early turnovers, takeaways hurt us. And another thing for this defense, I'm trying to be politician law, political law. You know, I'm trying to be the bipartisan law. I'm trying to be all of those laws. But, man, I think Ray Charles out of his grave, who's blind and dead, can see that it's time to move on from Leighton Vander Esch. I said that he was solid. People pull out all type of butter knives. They still stabbing me. Law, why you keep saying that Leighton Vander Esch is solid, man? He can't bust through a wet paper bag, man. He can't make decisions. He can't commit. He can't go hook the flat. He don't have any speed, Law. Stop talking about it. Stop being an apologist for Leighton Vander Esch. But somebody got to look at this tape and look at Leighton Vander Esch and number 42. I'm not leaving him off the hook because his feet was looking like they were made out of cement blocks, and he's slow to the point. I need linebackers that can rally, chase, hit, and remove the opposition. Make them think twice. Who hit me? Which one of y'all hit me? I need those type of linebackers. We just don't have that.
Yeah, we don't have
outside of Parsons. Not
yeah. We don't have the killers. Let me ask you this strategically. After what you saw last night, I think that hindsight is 20/20, but last night was a game that Parsons should have played a whole lot more at linebacker.
Yeah.
The only reason why I'm saying that is because if he would have, whoever would have been at the end,
you got
Parsons would have cleaned that up. You know what I'm saying? Either way it goes, I don't think that him being, they didn't block him. And what they forced him to do is make a split-second decision against a quarterback who knows how to do an RPO. And the wrong decision kind of crossing them up a little bit. If he'd have been in linebacker last night, some of that stuff would have got shut down. If that's just my view. We didn't have too many. Well, we had a few chances where we can come after him, but I think he would have been a little bit. He should have been standing up a little bit more linebacker. I don't know if you really check tape out yet, Law, but talk to me about that.
It's out now. It's out now. I'm gonna spend some night tonight. I'm gonna break that down. But I'm gonna tell you this. You got me thinking.
All right.
You got me really thinking. I had to put my conspiracy hat on.
Mm-hmm.
If you put Parsons at Mike, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that it would have balanced out things a little bit better.
Yeah.
They was using Parsons' aggressions against him.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant game plan, by the way.
Brilliant.
And this is not flawed by Parsons because he's trying to play political football too, right?
Yeah.
He's trying not to put the big hit on Hurts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's wedging between 11 and Hurts when they did that RPO action.
Mm-hmm.
And to the life of me, who in the world supposed to be watching number 11 on the offensive side? You know, I like why they got to be on Parsons? He's supposed to have hooked the flag, but of course, but he shouldn't be guarding the wide receiver. How's the wide receiver washed up and flushed? I mean, how's the actual DB is flushed out of that play? You know, that touchdown.
Yeah,
I can't wait to when I see the all 22 on that. I'm sitting here like, come on, that shouldn't have been all on his plate.
Yeah, I agree. And Coach Coach Moore brought up a great point. It was tackling yesterday. But I really, now that we look at it, and once I kind of peep it out as well, I'm just going off the top of my head, is that Michael Parsons is a guy, not saying he can't think by no means. We just don't need him thinking. We need him attacking. And if you have to make him think with this type of quarterback, we ain't gonna have this next week with Goff or whoever. I mean, we're not gonna have that. But it's just rare when we have that guy like a Hurts or Lamar Jackson per se, and even a Josh Allen who does this stuff. These are the type of quarterbacks that sometimes Michael Parsons needs to line up as a linebacker. That's what I would do. I don't want him I thought it was just because I thought it was highly disrespectful when I saw them not blocking him. And I'm saying, wait a minute now. If it's anybody you supposed to block on this team, you got to put a hat on Michael Parsons. Yeah. But they didn't. And then I started figuring it out. I said, oh, okay. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. And actually, it was a brilliant game plan. I got to give Coach credit.
And we got to add into this 10 missed tackles.
Bingo.
Let me repeat, 10 missed tackles. It could be more when I go back and look at everything with my eyes. I know that was the stat line that was brought up. And speaking of tackles, no way, big time, that Hooker should be your leading tackler. Horrible. He's the last line of defense.
Horrible.
Where my linebackers at?
Horrible. And I'm I maybe you know more than I know, Law. Because I know you spend time at camp, and I know you know probably a little bit more than I do. But we were so hype about Mr. Cox.
Yeah.
Starting out at the beginning of the year. And his speed and he can tackle and all that. And I'm trying to figure out why he can't get no run on this field. And I'm trying to. Last night would have been his athleticism was needed. Let me put it that way.
Oh my God.
I don't know if it's because of respect to Barr, because it's I don't know if it's out of respect for Barr. And of course they're trying to get their money out of LVE. I get that part, but look, forget politics. Please put some people in that are hungry, number one.
Right.
Gonna deliver a blow like you was talking about, Law. And I just don't understand why he's just limited so far to special teams. I don't know. Maybe you can help me out on that. I don't know.
It's tongue in cheek when I hear. I trust Dan Quinn, but it can't be his decision. There's no way a football guy that knows football, that understands football, can flat out tell me, Devin Harper, you're a healthy scratch. We're gonna insert LVE. There's no look. I promise y'all, man. I'm not crying over here. I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining. Harper is a guy that's reckless abandonment. No, he is calculated. He will come down and field. He got quick speed. He's a 4.4 guy. He's fast. That's Devin Harper, right? That's number 50 for those who don't know.
Yeah.
He can go sideline to sideline. He's that dude, right? On the other thing, when you look at this tape of the linebackers, I think that right now they're looking at it like they love Anthony Barr's mind of the game. And I think that Anthony Barr is a bridge guy for Jabril Cox. Mm-hmm. And we play so much big nickel that they're keeping my guy J-Ron Kearse down inside, which also eliminates opportunity and chances for Jabril Cox to get out there on the field. I got a chance, Boss Cowboy. We was out there at Cowboys Experience event. Shout out to Cowboys Experience. We had a chance to talk a little bit on Jabril Cox. And Jabril Cox said to us that he would love to play a certain position for the Cowboys. I'm not going to mention it, but keep that in mind, what I just said, and maybe y'all could tie in the lines. We need these young guys to be out there on the field, though. And, also, big time. If you pull up any tape from Fresno State all the way into now training camp and beyond, and you pull up any career tape of Jordan Lewis, you will literally see that kid, Dayron Bland, he brings pain, he got physical, and he's a 4.4 guy. I think he's a low 4.4 guy, close to 4.3 guy. There's no way you don't give their kid chances and opportunities to be out there on the field. There's no way. The Cowboys are doing a disservice of having Jordan Lewis out there. Just no way. There's no. I can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
I can't make this stuff up. There's no way that you can sit there and tell me that Jordan Lewis is better. There's no way. Yeah. I don't care.
I've always said for years, Law, and to all your viewers, and of course my viewers know what I always have been saying: loyalty is the silent killer of the Dallas Cowboys. It is a cancer that has invaded these ranks for years and years. Where loyalty, and we have some examples. For instance, Jason Witten at his latter couple of years should have never, we had people that could play. They never hit the field. When you start talking about, later again, here comes Tyron Smith. Yeah. I mean, we were too, low. He can't even get out on the screen no more. You see what I'm saying? Can't get out on the screen pass. But we were loyal to him, and we never drafted anybody to try to take his place like that. And I believe that's what's going on. Sean Lee is another one who stayed injured. We were sitting back waiting for him to come back and all that kind of stuff.
We was this close. Yeah. If Dalton Schultz knee didn't buckle, we wouldn't have got a chance to see Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot.
Bingo. And now that you see them,
that's that close. Yeah.
The question is, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it should be in the question. The Ferguson is good. I'm not knocking Dalton. That's one of Dak's guys, but it's obvious these kids can play. So it is what it is. Which leads to this, Law, and I ain't gonna keep you long because I don't know what else you got to do. Are y'all coming on tonight?
No. We go live on Tuesday tomorrow. Nights. The final word. Yeah, the final word.
Well, let me ask you this, since this is my final. I ain't talking about Philly no more. I just said they beat a backup quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They beat a backup quarterback who looked like one last night, and God bless them. They should have won. I mean, when you get 3 interceptions, and you win in time of possession, and you got some bad play calling. You're supposed to win, so they did it.
Yep.
Now the captain is coming back. Number one, do you think he should?
Well,
go ahead.
he's medically cleared. Medically, you know how they come out, they make sure they put he's medically cleared to practice Wednesday. Like what the world he was doing all last week, throwing the ball and everything. So I get it. We want to play the con game. He said that they may have a closed practice Wednesday. I get it, right? So Dak Prescott, he'll go through a ramp up stage Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The determination of the decision will be on the table whether or not he will start against the Lions. If Dak Prescott is healthy, then he needs to be out there on the field. I get what people are saying. We needed the rush mania to die down a little bit, and that is exactly what happened last night. The rush mania died down just a little bit. I hate that it happened in that fashion, it turned into a pumpkin, right?
Yeah, Cinderella came home last night.
Came home, and it'll be Dak Prescott's show. But what I want the Cowboys to focus on, regardless of who the quarterback is, how we played last night is not the winning formula.
Bingo. Let me ask you this. When you say healthy, and I think this is going to be one of the $1 million questions, let's define healthy from your view. What do you consider healthy? We already know he's not 100%. We know that. Right. There's nothing wrong with the thumb. If you guys saw the game before it started, we just didn't know the extent of the surgery. But if you remember, they showed his thumb was right here is where the surgery was. And the lady said that he has 7 screws in his thumb right there. So it's almost like they had to attach this part back to it. And I don't know long. I know he's not 100% healthy. There's no way. Right. But what do you consider healthy?
Healthy. Now let me put a disclaimer out there. I'm not a medical doctor, not a medical professional, right? And I'm not giving anybody no medical advice or anything like that. Shout out to my Facebook watchers, and my YouTube people and everybody around the world. Let me ask you this. If yesterday was the Super Bowl.
He playing.
He playing on yes or no?
He's playing. He's playing. No question about it.
Right. No question about it. So every game is important. I get it. This is the divisional rivalry game. The Eagles red hot with their defense, number 6 defense in the NFL, maybe now all the way down to number 2 or number 1 defense after last night. But the offensive line stood tall and they held up. Not one sack was allowed last night, right? And if they had the philosophy with the mindset of running the ball, shoot. It would be a no-brainer. I've seen him fling the ball around. So my ideal of a player being healthy, I think midway through the season, nobody's healthy. Everybody's dealing with something. Everybody dealing with nicks and knacks somewhere around their body at this point. So I think that the Cowboys, talking about medically cleared, meaning that everything shapes out, that he should be able to take impact or hit on said thumb. Yeah. The crazy thing about it, big time, is this right here. I may not be a medical professional. I may not be a medical doctor, but I ain't no fool.
Yeah.
Ain't no way what he did last night, his body didn't rejuvenate and healed enough for him to be ready on Wednesday. You see what I'm saying? It's like what, 4 hours, 6 hours in between last night game until he was able to see whatever doctor he saw. So it's not enough time for it to be completely dogged. That doctor probably already cleared him last Thursday. You see what I'm saying? They can sell it to the general public. They can sell it to the people that can look at this and say, all right, but he didn't heal that much overnight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he was healthy to play. He was clear. That's what's crazy. He was clear. He was literally clear last night, but they gonna announce that he's now cleared to play Wednesday.
It's crazy. You're trying to insult folks' intelligence. Yeah, he ready to
trying
go.
assault my intelligence. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
he's ready to go. I don't get it. And then let's add the caveat also in law that even if he's not right, let's just be honest. They will shoot him in a certain area.
Yeah.
Make sure he don't feel nothing. You understand? let's be honest. That will happen.
You know, I'm from Mississippi, so you know, old folks would tell the ladies either you're pregnant or you're not. You can't be a little bit pregnant. You know, he's halfway pregnant. No, she's halfway pregnant. No, either you're pregnant or you're not. You know, and grandma tell him, baby, you kind of heavy. You pregnant. I had a dream last night. Saw some fishes. You know, you pregnant.
Yeah. So based off that, what it's kind of hard to gauge, as I said before, Kellen Moore, but what are you expecting from Dak against Detroit?
All right. Look, this is the situation, man. This is the situation that Dak Prescott is in. You remember a game back?
Yeah.
Cooper Rush was 10 for 16 for 102 yards.
Mm-hmm.
He can't have that game, right?
No.
Even with the W. With the W. He can't have that game.
Yeah.
He can't be 10 for 16 because they'll crucify him.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott also, he can't have what Cooper Rush did this past game.
Yeah.
For what he was like 20. Let me see what he was this past game. Cooper Rush was 18 for 38. He can't have that game.
No. Nor
can he have 15 for 25 for 155 yards. That is what Jalen Hurts just had. He can't be 15 for 25 for 155 yards because the 4-letter, the 3-letter, the 2-letter, all of the ladder networks we talking about say he's not ready.
There you go. He can't win.
He can't win for losing.
Can't win.
Oh my gosh, man.
And I'm glad you said that because that is the way that everybody is going to treat that.
Right.
If he does not throw for, if he throws for 220 yards, they will say, well, they're trying to protect him. You see what I'm saying? They're saying that's the reason why he didn't throw a lot, because they know his thumb is not ready.
Right.
If he throws, he's at the point now where he gets criticized for anything. So if he throws 3 touchdowns and 1 pick, they'll talk about the pick. Was his thumb messed up or whatever? But I'm convinced, Law, that unfortunately for Dak, that they already starting to say, well, they went 4 for 1, 4-1 without Dak.
Right.
They still, these games he should win easily.
Right.
Like we got Detroit, Chicago coming. Then we go the Packers and the Vikings, and they're going to be saying, "Look, the way this defense is playing, Dak ought to put up 30 points."
Right.
I mean, I'm saying,
right. He got to put up 30.
He got to put up 30. So if he don't do it, then they're gonna say, well, Cooper. Cooper. and it's like he almost has to be perfect in order for him to get, I ain't gonna say respect, because by now either you like Dak
or you don't.
Or you don't.
Right.
It's no in between ground. And I'm seeing it even in the chat. Folks saying, well, all Dak has to do is win. You know what I'm saying? Stack the win.
We've been down that road before.
No, he can't do that. He can't do that. You're right about that. He can't do that. You know what I'm saying? He has to win in a fashion that shuts people up. And and I believe that he just can't. If he throws 4 touchdowns, there's gonna be some folks say he should have threw for 5. Right.
You see what I'm
saying?
Garbage time, You got garbage time. Better win.
Yeah, if he throw for 325, somebody say, well, he should throw for 360. So you can't, you just can't do right. So my position is that it just need to come in. Hopefully, Kellen Moore. It's really not about that.
Right.
It's really about Kellen Moore and his play calling.
Yeah.
if we can dominate running the ball like we were, or at least stay committed, that's the key word, committed to the running game. Yeah. Then we can, I see you, Law. I'm going to pull it up now. So if we can stay committed, then we'll begin the season. Let me know you want me to throw it up.
You go ahead and pull it up. I had to pull that thing up. All right, so this Dak Prescott 2019 season, right? And they wasn't satisfied. He threw for 4,901 yards, 30 touchdowns, 11 INTs, and they were still saying, hey, man, that's 8-8. That's not going to work, man. He's trash, Law. You can't pay the bit. Let me just go all the way back from the beginning of it. This 2016, right? This 2016. 23 tubs, 4 interceptions, 3,667 yards, right? Oh man, he's a game manager. He can't do this, he can't do that. All right. So then we go to the next year.
Watch the progression.
Next year, this 2017, I told you he's a one-read guy. He can't throw under pressure. He just terrible quarterback, 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. That's terrible, man. He's not elite, man. This is this man's second season, you know. They got
fourth round draft pick.
Tyron Smith was hurt that year. We put in a guy by the name of Chaz Green, I believe, and he couldn't block a folding check and block better than him.
He gave up no receivers, Law.
No receivers. 2017, was that 2017? Because I thought Dez was still there.
Dez was still there, but he was on the tail end. Dez,
right?
On the real tail end. He was hurt too.
And then 2018, this is his third year now. Third year ever playing. 3,885 yards, 22 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. They complain, they moan, they gripe. He's inaccurate. We can't win games. We 10-6, by the way. We listen. This dude, he can't do this. He can't do that. That's his third season.
No defense.
No defense. Oh my gosh, man! That's when they had the hot board chains and everything. But they were like, man, no, don't pay them. Hey, at this point in 2018, by the way, his APY, if the Cowboys went on ahead and opened up the wallet, it would have been $22 to $25 million. Y'all keep that in mind. But the Cowboys front office said, hey, we need to see a little bit more because in 2018, by the way, we also won a playoff game. Keep that in mind. So if any time the Cowboys could have got Dak for cheap, it would have been at the end of this year. But they played Russian roulette. They went on and paid at the start of this season, 2019. They paid Jalen Smith. They paid Elijah Elliott, who was worth the money. I ain't gonna dog my guy, but this is his fourth year. He threw for 4,901 yards. Right? It went 8-8. He's not a difference maker, Law. No. We was middle of the pack defense. We were nowhere close to this defense, by the way.
No. Not even the same ballpark.
Right. And then that was the year we had the monsoon game. The Philadelphia Eagles, they kicked our butt too. Dak Prescott was coming off of a shoulder injury or a shoulder situation. And we had a wide receiver to drop 5 balls in that game. A drive that got us all the way down into the red zone, money zone, green zone. And we put the ball in the belly of Tony Pollard. He played basketball with the football. But a lot of people failed to realize that game in that series. Yeah. Ezekiel Elliott, he tapped out and they put Tony in and he fumbled off of that snap while we was in the red zone. But that's the story of another day. All right. So 2020 comes around. He have a spoonful of games. He get hurt. This is his first losing season, because I think he finished the season 1-3.
Yeah.
9 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. The Cowboys guilt played the dude. The guilt paid him because they was like, hey, because all of the nation, they was like sad because the meat was falling off the bone or what have you. The ankle surgery, had to do 2 surgeries and everything. So what they did was this was the year he was already franchised from 2019. Is that correct?
Yeah.
It franchise tagged him.
Uh-huh.
And they put the exclusive franchise tag because my memory is good now. My memory served me correct. This year, 2020, before this season kicked off, the Colts was saying that they will be willing to give up a first-round draft pick plus pay the man $35 million if the Cowboys wasn't going to do that. And the Cowboys said, you know what? We're going to go ahead and franchise tag you and put the non-exclusive, so you can't even the exclusive franchise tag, so nobody can even offer to do anything else. So at the start of this season, 2021, last year, this dude threw for 4,449 yards, 37 touchdowns, Cowboys record, by the way, to 10 interceptions. And y'all still say that, dude, this dude is trash.
He can't read the defense.
He can't read.
That's what they said. They still say.
Oh, my gosh, man. They said this dude can't read. He can't read. So now we 2022. That was his first game. One interception is terrible. It's terrible. And now they want to base these two games. The San Francisco 49ers game, which he was horrible in. I would tell you guys that. That was his first playoff game that he was terrible in as far as numbers. And they basing off the Buccaneers game. That's all you got. That's who he is right here. I can't make this stuff up.
You see that comment? You see that comment right there, Law, that I put up there?
No.
But I ain't gonna do that because see, we like our content on Facebook, and if we start talking about that, then y'all, somebody's gonna report us and all that kind of stuff. So I leave that alone. You understand?
Yeah.
You see that comment there? Let me take you down there. I don't know if you see it there.
Yeah, I see it.
You saw what he said. The real reason why I don't like that. I'll let y'all figure that out. I ain't gonna say it. You understand? But he's coming back, y'all. So and we need him. Right. We do. Let's be realistic. And we need him. We're a better football team with him. And Cooper Rush leading us. And there's not a knock against Rush. It's just that we got a Pro Bowl quarterback that without a doubt is a top 10, whatever you want to say, top 12, whatever you want to say. He's one of the upper tier quarterbacks in the league. Right. We're better with him, and I'll take my chances with him rather than going through another week with Rush, like that, because I know what's going to happen.
Right.
With Dak, some of this stuff that a lot of defense were doing will not do because they do respect that. You see what I'm saying? You can't blitz them all the time. You might do Rush like that. You can't do Dak like that. And
what I want to see is I want to see the quarters defense being reintroduced, right? Yeah. Whereas they dropped 6 and 7 DBs, they stopped doing that. They gave Cooper a little too high looks, right, on certain downs this past game, but they didn't stay in that. They kind of loaded the box and said, "Hey man, it's 1-on-1 to the outside, beat us." Yeah, beat us, and he couldn't do that on a consistent level. Dak, I want you guys to go back. They stopped playing Dak like that in 2018. They stopped playing him like that in 2018 with the single high safety, load the box, blitzing him and all of that. No. And 19 and as well as 2020 and the pieces of that in 2021, they always drop people in coverage.
So the basis of what I think Law and I are on the same page. To be honest with y'all, Nation, we ought to be excited about our leader coming back, our quarterback coming back, because I really believe that we will be better with him going. Now, that don't equivalent to 35 points a game. No. Nobody ain't saying that. But what I'm saying, the way this defense plays, you put Dak Prescott in there. If you can give me somewhat of the same plan before last night, let me put it that way, with Kellen Moore, if you give me the same commitment to the running game, you put Dak Prescott back in, I believe we're going to win a whole lot of football games. That's just my thoughts exactly.
You know, Coach Marv said this before. The Eagles themselves, they took the page out of the Cowboys playbook. And did just that. You know, shout out to Coach Marv. There you go, right there. He said, "The Big Show. If we don't give Dak the Troy Aikman plan,
he would never
reach true greatness." Yeah. I mean, the plan was right there. The Eagles just did that.
Yeah,
25 throwing attempts, right? 2 touchdowns, but they ran the ball. Somebody put down how many times the Eagles ran the ball.
I believe it was 39, Law. I believe it was 39.
39 times, see?
I believe it was. It speaks for itself.
Speak for itself.
I mean, you do that and play defense, you're gonna win a lot of games like that. Time of possession.
Yeah.
So it was real easy, y'all. I let my brother's Law. I'm sorry. Jeffrey just told me it was 38 times he ran last.
38 times.
I mean, come on now. That's a lot of runs. I'm gonna let my guys Law and OC and Boss and Big Game, let those guys give y'all the final word on tomorrow as they wrap up this game. But as for me and my show, because they beat a backup quarterback. I'm done with it. I'm on my way to Detroit because I'm on my way to Detroit, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I believe that we're gonna be a whole lot better. I think the Cowboys gonna be a house of fire coming up Sunday. I believe the Detroit Lions are in trouble, no question. And we ain't looking towards Chicago. I don't want to hear about no trap game. These guys gonna be ready to play on Sunday. I guarantee that, because they're hearing the narrative, they're hearing all this trash talk, and I believe they're gonna be ready to get back out there and go to work. So I say the Detroit Lions are in trouble Sunday. I think we're gonna beat them in convincing fashion. I don't care what the line is. I just think they're gonna be so juiced up to play. And then the return of Dak coming in, that's gonna be a big motivation too. So I'm expecting us to rip a knothole in Detroit easily. I'm looking forward to that. And I think that we have to somewhat be excited about that. I know the Cooper Rush is over. The rush hour it should be over. Cinderella has come home. We the penalties is we're just gonna have to live with it, y'all. There was some bad obvious penalties. The pre-snap penalties, Fowler jumping outside,
10 of
quarterback sneak. Go ahead, Law. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 10 penalties, man. That's too much.
You can't win. On the nose guard, we lining up outside. The holding penalties came to bite us again. Shout out to Tyler Smith. He's learning on the fly. He went against Graham last night. That pass that Cooper ball got flooded in the air. That's because Graham got to him. Tyler couldn't hold it. Couldn't block him on that play.
Couldn't anchor in, all the way.
Get it, he just wrapped around him and nailed him, and that cost the play. So he's learning on the fly. Previous to that, he was playing pretty good. He just got caught on that one gigantic play that could look like it was going to be a touchdown, without a doubt. But these are things that just we're learning on the fly. I believe we're going to get better and better and better. And I just think we're going to win. Now, that's my optimism for the next, at least for Detroit game. I'm interested to see what Kellen Moore is going to do when Dak comes back. Is his eyes going to light up like a Christmas tree and say, oh, boy, we throwing 45 times? Or is he going to go ahead and do what he's been doing? Feature Ezekiel and Tony Pollard.
Man, they need to feature the run game and complement this thing, complement the defense. Defense needs some rest, man. Defense can't do it all, and we play that way we'll win this game against the Detroit. But it's not a guaranteed victory, man. You gotta
No.
you still gotta play football and sound. You gotta like Coach Marv said, you got to be better on the sideline, right? You got to also be better with your decision makings on going for it. Play to your strength of your team. You know, sometimes playing the field, it seems it's a cheap way out, but kicking a punt kick, flipping the field the other way, thousands of things can happen. A muff punt, you know, can bounce in your favor. The dude can be running and then he fumbles the ball, right? And they got to drive 70, 80 yards down the field versus giving them a short field for 40-yard drives. There are more plays in the playbook on the short end of the field versus the long end of the field. Make it a long night against Detroit. Let's play precise. Let's play some football.
Yeah, let's play real solid, smart football. Exactly. Right. Which obviously we're capable of because we've seen it. We've seen it already this season. So all we do is get right back to it. We got a little out of character last night. Time to get back into character. It's not hard to figure out. Run the football. It's really that simple. Listen.
In the words of that, let me fix myself up. Let me fix myself up.
Yeah. West Coast.
West Coast. You know, run that ball. You know. Run the ball. You know, this is what you got to do. Run the ball.
This team has to do that without a doubt. And Law, I appreciate you while you styling and profiling like Rick Flair. Law to crunk it up. Listen, for those from Law Nation, hey, I don't know, some of y'all may know me, some of you may not. I'm big time. It's not hard to figure out. All you have to do is the Big Time Show. All you have to do is follow me on Facebook. You see it there on the ticker there going for you. That's all you have to do is Big Time, the Big Time Show. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter, as you can see there. Go subscribe to my YouTube page if you don't mind. I would appreciate that so much. All of you guys, of course, y'all know I'm with right now one of the best in the game, no doubt about it. One of the best in the whole industry, respected by a whole lot of people. And anytime you get a guy like this to come on your show is an honor and a privilege. And I appreciate Law for popping in on your brother and jumping in on the show. And I told you guys, I've been telling y'all that I was going to get him eventually. I didn't know it was going to be today, but he came on in for me, and I appreciate him, and we're going to try to get him back on my show where we could chop it up again. This was no format. This was
right. You jump right on in
chopping it up. This was just chopping it up, and I appreciate all you guys for popping in on that. And of course, one of these days I'm gonna get not one of the days. Y'all know Boss has been on my show a couple of times as well, and we're gonna get we're gonna try to do some type of Justice League show.
Let's do it. I'll jump on in.
Wes has been on my show and everybody else. I'm gonna try to get it one day. We're gonna put all this together and have some real fun. Coach Marv is in the chat. Gonna get him in here as well. But Law, I appreciate you, brother, so much for even just popping in. You have an open invite anytime you choose, Doc. Anytime you choose, I don't mind, man.
Well, keep that link open for me, man. So whenever I see you live, if I got time, I'm saying, hey, send me that link. I'll jump right on in. You know, we didn't have to rehearse nothing, man, because I believe deep down in our hearts, man, we don't like the Cowboys at all. We don't. We don't like the Cowboys at all. We love them. We love the Cowboys, y'all. And we go back and rewind, watch tape, go over everything that the players do. We go all the way at the bottom end of the roster. You know, even down at Malik Davis, baby. We look at everybody, man. And we love this
squad players. Everybody.
Yeah.
Trainers, parking lot attendants, everybody else like that. So we appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Law Nation.
Thank you, man.
All of y'all.
How I get out? You want me to hit the lead button, or you gonna You gonna probably
Man,
shut it down?
look, I usually jam out of here, but
I jam with you, man. I jam with you.
You do your thing, man. You know, it is what it is. Go ahead. Somebody, I think everybody talking to everybody here. Let me see. Oh, you got a lot of people saying hello. I don't know if you see all this. You got an incredible following, man. Appreciate y'all, the All Nation family showing up for the big time show. Pretty much
appreciate it, man.
That showed up. Listen, this is listen, for those that want to do it, tune in tomorrow night for the final word with Law and Boss and OC and Big Game James tomorrow night. Y'all already know it's gonna be lit on that station on tomorrow night. As for me, I'll see you guys on Saturday at 3 p.m. That'll be my next live show, but looking for a little video from me coming probably on tomorrow as well. But Saturday, I'll be back live, 3 o'clock p.m. Central Time. If you don't mind, those who want to come and check me out, I'll be here for you as we get ready for the Detroit Lions. They're all roads now lead back to Dallas, getting ready for Detroit. And we're going to go ahead and crack the Lions and put them back in the cage. Until then, ladies and gentlemen. Wait a minute, Law, you got to do it one time. You're listening to nothing but the best.
Yes, indeed. Cowboy Nation and everyone that's listening, hey, I know your hearts are in this. Let's stay with it. Let's not fold up like a wallet or a lawn chair. Let's keep our head high, see this thing all the way through, and that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys.
We out of here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Big Time Show.